ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
A new effort is underway to help San Diego's homeless, the initiative that kicked off downtown. Plus, Airbnb says it has stopped thousands of potentially risky bookings in San Diego. The party crackdown it still plans to enforce moving forward.
And for the 5th day in a row, crews in Florida are looking for any signs of survivors in the wreckage of this building collapse. We'll let you know who is now getting involved in this investigation.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
Right now, the county's Human Relations Commission is holding a special meeting in response to the tortilla throwing incident at a high school basketball game. Good evening. I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Earlier this month, some supporters of Coronado High School threw tortillas at Orange Glen's predominantly Latino basketball team after a championship game. Our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is joining us with what we can expect to come out of tonight's meeting. Anthony.
Steve, Lindsay, the county's Human Relations Commission could be making some recommendations to the County Board of Supervisors in regards to initiatives and programs in response to that tortilla throwing incident. The incident was caught on video from June 19th when players from the Coronado High School basketball team were seen throwing tortillas at players from Orange Glen High School, which is a mostly Latino school. The incident took place after a championship game between the two schools. The chair of San Diego County's Human Relations Commission says the public brought it to their attention last week. Now, the commission works to promote positive human relations, so they felt they needed to weigh in on the incident.
Because of the disturbing information that was provided by the public, the commissioners felt we needed to call a special meeting because we also wanted to demonstrate a sense of urgency.
Now, there is a public comment section expected tonight as well. And again, the HRC could be recommending to the County Board of Supervisors about launching certain anti-hate and anti-racism initiatives and programs aimed at young people. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
Anthony, thank you. You can stay up to date on tonight's hearing by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
Airbnb says its crackdown on unauthorized parties over the last year has worked. The company has been able to block thousands of what they call potentially risky reservation attempts right here in San Diego. And as ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala explains, some restrictions are still in place going into 4th of July weekend.
As more people are vaccinated and California's back open, long-awaited vacation plans are finally happening. People flocking to San Diego beaches and enjoying vacation homes.
It's an exciting time. I think we're anticipating what we hope and expect will be the travel rebound of the century.
In an effort to continue its crackdown on rare but disruptive house parties like we've seen here in San Diego, Airbnb is reminding everyone some restrictions are still in place when it comes to booking one of its listings.
A year ago, what we shared out was this new technology, this new system that essentially said if you are under the age of 25 and you do not have a history of positive reviews on Airbnb, we were not going to allow you to book an entire home listing.
People under the age of 25 are still restricted from booking an entire home in their local area if they don't have a history of positive reviews. Ben Bright, the head of Trust and Safety Communications for Airbnb, says the reason for this is to stop unauthorized parties from happening, and it's helped. Since this was introduced a year ago, he says thousands of potentially risky reservation attempts have been blocked or redirected, including 6,000 people in the city of San Diego. That's compared to 15,000 in Los Angeles and 4,500 in Las Vegas during the same stretch. And as the 4th of July weekend is approaching, Airbnb is taking some additional safety measures. Any guests in the U.S. that don't have a history of positive reviews will also be prohibited from making one-night reservations in entire homes this weekend.
Everyone deserves the right to have peace and quiet in their neighborhoods.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Last year, Airbnb also announced a ban on all parties. We're told that will be extended until at least the end of this summer.
And today, we got a look at the economic impact the pandemic has had in our region. We are digging deeper to see the areas hit hardest and how the recovery process is going. The San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce outlines some new data today showing which industries saw the most job losses during the pandemic. Tourism, retail, and education had the biggest drop-offs. By spring of this year, 81% of job losses were in those three industries. Before the pandemic, regional unemployment was at 3.2%. It reached a peak of 25% in May of 2020. In spring of 2021, it drops to 6.9%. The South Bay and central San Diego areas, they saw the biggest job losses. We also saw inequality when it comes to financial assistance.
We know that there were well-documented racial disparities among the recipients of PPP loans. The majority went to businesses in areas with greater resources. 61% of loans went to businesses in majority white census tract areas, while less than 12% went to majority Latinx census tract areas.
And some of the short-term hurdles businesses are now dealing with, they do include navigating regulatory changes, rebuilding their workforce, getting funds to keep the doors open, and addressing hesitancy for customers. The Chamber of Commerce also identified issues impacting businesses that have only been made worse by the pandemic. That includes the cost of housing, childcare, shortage, and homelessness. They say that those factors could hurt businesses' ability to attract talent and keep workers. And researchers are getting a new look at how much protection COVID vaccines may provide. A new report from Pfizer and Moderna's vaccine, they created an immune reaction that could protect us against coronavirus for years. The two vaccines use mRNA technology, which helps the immune system build antibodies to fight the virus. Now, based on this new information, researchers believe people may not need boosters in the future.
The city and county of San Diego are now working together to address the growing number of homeless people on the streets of downtown. Starting today, outreach teams are trying to target those resistant to help, which in many cases includes people with addiction or mental health issues. It's a battle one advocate says requires a lot of support and more resources. There are many reasons people end up on the streets, but those who work with the homeless every day say a major part of the problem is drugs and alcohol, and being able to provide people the help they need to get sober.
We have only 25 detox beds right now, or sobering beds right now, and that's the McAllister Institute, so obviously that's far short of the need.
Bob McElroy is CEO of the Alpha Project, which specializes in homeless outreach. He says the pandemic not only limited the number of beds available, it also changed the way the jail operates and all but stopped substance-related arrests.
Some people say, oh, gee, you're locking them up. Well, sometimes that's a good thing. It saves people's lives, gives them a window of sobriety, and then they can come to us.
Now the city and county are investing millions in launching a new plan that includes creating more beds for people with substance and mental health issues, and sending out teams to build relationships with those on the street and try to convince them to accept help. McElroy says it's an approach they use, sending out current residents to gain trust.
And they're bringing a lot of their folks in that would never come into a shelter before because it's working for them, and so they bring them in. So it's the peer-to-peer relationship, and that seems to be working very well.
The new plan calls for at least a month of increased outreach in hopes of getting through to people. McElroy says it starts with compassion.
People are human beings, and we need to help them help themselves.
And between the city and county of San Diego, roughly $95 million has been budgeted this year to address homelessness issues in our area.
San Diegans are continuing to look for ways to stay cool during this excessive heat warning. Many are heading, of course, to the beach where temperatures are slightly cooler. And some beachgoers tell us they're thankful for the marine layer this time of year.
I'm okay with it, especially living in San Carlos. When you come here, it's a little cooler.
Our coastal areas are expected to stay mild in the high 70s, but our mountains, they could near some triple digits. ISO, which oversees the state's power grid, says it isn't expecting to implement a flex alert. As always, the agency is asking Californians to conserve power when they can. That includes turning off unnecessary lights and setting your thermostat to at least 78. All right, let's check in with our meteorologist, Angelica Campos, for a complete look at that forecast this week. Angelica.
Hi, Stephen. I know a lot of people feel the same way about the marine layer. This time of the year, we needed to keep those temperatures on the cooler side near the coast. That's exactly what's happening. Right now, it is 66 degrees in La Jolla, 69 San Diego. You make your way east, we find 90s still in the mountains. In Julia, 95 degrees, also 95 in Warner Springs. And Ramona is now down to 81 degrees, although today's temperatures did make it to the low 90s. Our deserts between 112 and 114 degrees. Now, here's some good news. The excessive heat warning will be ending tonight at 9 p.m. But there's also some bad news. Moisture is going to be on the rise. Right now, it is very dry in areas like Julian, Borrego Springs. That is elevating fire danger. The problem when monsoonal moisture begins to build, unless it happens very quickly, then we have a chance for dry lightning, which that could be the case for tomorrow. But the chance for thunderstorms could last for a couple of days. I'll get into more details of what to expect day by day in your 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Angelica. Police are looking for clues after the murder of a man near Sunset Cliffs Natural Park. Several people called 911 after hearing gunshots and someone yelling around 11:30 last night. When officers arrived, they found a 33-year-old man shot in the 4500 block of Ladera Street. The unidentified man was pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics. And a family is now without a home after it caught fire in San Ysidro this afternoon. That fire spread from the outside into the attic. 4 adults, 2 children, and a dog were all inside at the time. Neighbors had to pound on the doors to make sure everyone got out. Investigators are now looking into the cause.
All right, now to Florida, where crews are spending a 5th day looking for any signs of survivors in the wreckage of this building collapse. 11 people have been confirmed dead, but 150 others remain unaccounted for tonight. As ABC's Morgan Norwood explains, a massive search and rescue mission is still underway.
The dangerous search in Surfside swelling in desperation, the death toll rising, officials refusing to give up.
The search and rescue operation continues.
Cranes lifting away layers of concrete, rescuers breaking through walls, building trenches, looking for survivors.
So they're out there with every resource that they need to ensure that they can search this area, they can sweep the mound with cameras, with dogs, with sonar.
The way the building collapsed, now leaving some indication that voids of pockets of air could be enough for a miracle. Families of the more than 150 still unaccounted for, clinging to hope.
Is he in the hospital? Is he in the rubble? We just want to know already.
For the family of Nicole Ortiz, the grieving process now begins. Her sister and nephew both found among the dead.
Because I didn't have the certainty where were they were alive or dead. It's not what I want, but if it's God will, well, now I know that they are okay.
Federal authorities now on the ground, officials from NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, many of whom investigated 9/11, now looking into what caused this collapse in an effort to determine whether a full investigation should be conducted.
They're a fact-finding, not a fault-finding agency, and a long-term investigation of theirs would give us a chance, for me, as a member of Congress, to be able to to adopt changes in federal law that will help them make sure that when structures are built, that something like this could never happen again.
And there are so many resources on the ground here. Authorities say this is the largest ever deployment of task force resources in the history of the state of Florida that's not hurricane related. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Miami Beach, Florida.